In this video, we'll be taking a look at one NFL game happening on November 18, 2024, and providing you with a free team pick and total pick for this game, so 2 picks in total. Welcome back to Cash Out Sports. Let's dive right into it. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe and to click the bell icon to get notified as soon as these videos get released, so that you have more time to plan out your bets as we provide these videos on a daily basis. I can guarantee that you'll have all the important information that you'll need on this one NFL game after fully watching this video. One more thing before we start: if you would like to gain access to our best exclusive sports picks to take your journey to the next level, then check out our Patreon in the link down below, where we offer our best single picks, parlay picks, and much more. Now let's get started. Houston Texans versus Dallas Cowboys. Monday Night Football brings an intriguing matchup as the Houston Texans take on the Dallas Cowboys. These teams last met in 2022, with the Cowboys edging out a narrow 4-point victory at home. The Texans come into this contest after a hard-fought 26-23 loss to the Detroit Lions on Sunday Night Football, where they managed to cover the spread as 4.5-point underdogs. The Cowboys, on the other hand, are reeling from a humiliating 34-6 home defeat to the Philadelphia Eagles, failing to cover as 7.5-point underdogs. Both teams are grappling with their struggles, setting the stage for a pivotal clash. The Houston Texans currently hold a 6-4 record for the season, following a close defeat to the Detroit Lions with a final score of 26-23. In that game, the Texans appeared dominant in the first half, leading 23-7 at halftime. However, they failed to add any points to their tally during the second half, ultimately resulting in a loss. Statistically, Houston was outgained in total yardage, managing only 248 yards compared to Detroit's 345. Despite this, the Texans secured 5 turnovers while giving up 2 and converted 6 of their 15 third-down attempts. Before this recent loss to Detroit, Houston also suffered a defeat to the New York Jets with a score of 21-13. However, in the game prior, they managed to edge out the Indianapolis Colts in a narrow 23-20 victory. This season, Houston's offense has averaged 22 points per game, supported by 218.7 passing yards and 119.4 rushing yards per contest. Meanwhile, their defense has allowed an average of 23 points per game to opponents. The Dallas Cowboys, on the other hand, have had a challenging season, holding a 3-6 record after their most recent game, a 34-6 loss to the Philadelphia Eagles. In that matchup, Dallas trailed by just 1 point in the second quarter, with the score at 7-6. However, they collapsed defensively, allowing Philadelphia to score the game's final 27 points. The Cowboys were outperformed offensively, gaining only 146 total yards compared to the Eagles' 348. They also struggled with ball security, losing the turnover battle 5-2, and were ineffective on third down, converting just 3 of 14 attempts. Leading up to their loss to the Eagles, the Cowboys endured a 3-game losing streak against the Atlanta Falcons, San Francisco 49ers, and Detroit Lions. Over the course of the season, Dallas offense has averaged 20 points per game, with 231.3 passing yards and 83.7 rushing yards per game. Their defense, however, has been a significant weak point, allowing an average of 29 points per game to opposing teams. The Cowboys' week started on a somber note with the announcement that Dak Prescott's injury is season-ending. Sitting at 3-6, Dallas now faces an uphill battle with a daunting schedule ahead. Hopes of salvaging the season are slim, a reality that both Jerry Jones and players have openly acknowledged in interviews and podcasts. The mood in Dallas appears grim, and there's little to inspire confidence. Some might suggest that the Battle of Texas could ignite a sense of pride within the organization, or that head coach Mike McCarthy might be coaching to save his job. However, even these intangible factors seem unlikely to change the trajectory of the season. The Texans are not without their own challenges, but their outlook remains brighter. Last week's loss to the Lions was a bitter pill, as Houston squandered an early lead in the second half. The offensive line has been a glaring weakness, allowing 12 sacks over the past 2 weeks and ranking among the worst in pass protection metrics. However, this matchup offers some respite, as Dallas' sack rate has dipped significantly, with just 9 sacks in their last 4 games. The return of Micah Parsons might provide a spark for the Cowboys, but their porous run defense, which ranks 31st in opponent rushing yards allowed per game at 152, presents an advantage for the Texans. Houston's offense, which prefers to build through running back Joe Mixon, could exploit this weakness. Mixon has been relatively quiet in recent games due to the Texans frequently playing from behind. but this game sets up as an ideal opportunity for him to reassert himself as a workhorse. The Cowboys face an even steeper challenge when it comes to offensive matchups. The Texans' defense has been elite, ranking second overall in defensive DVOA and excelling against the pass, where they lead the league in opponent completion percentage and rank third in opponent yards per pass. Dallas will turn to Cooper Rush at quarterback, despite mounting calls on social media to give Trey Lance a shot. Neither option inspires confidence. Without Prescott, the Cowboys' offense has floundered, managing only 146 total yards in last week's loss to Philadelphia. Houston's defense, buoyed by playing consecutive games in Texas and eager to atone for their Week 10 collapse, should present an even stiffer test. Mike McCarthy has expressed confidence in Cooper Rush, though few seem to share his optimism. Rush, a career backup, is coming off a dreadful performance against the Eagles where he completed just 23 passes for 45 yards. Most of his throws were short screens or checkdowns, none of which proved effective. The Texans' defense, led by standout pass rushers Will Anderson Jr. and Danielle Hunter, is well equipped to replicate Philadelphia's success in pressuring Rush. Compounding Dallas' woes is a banged-up offensive line, with key players Zach Martin and Tyler Smith appearing on the injury report. Even if they suit up, they won't be at full strength, giving the Texans' defensive front a significant edge. Limited time in the pocket for Rush spells trouble for playmakers like CeeDee Lamb, who thrives on deep routes. Houston's offense, meanwhile, looks set to benefit from the expected return of wide receiver Nico Collins, with Tank Dell and Joe Mixon also healthy and eager to make an impact after last week's disappointing finish. For Houston, this game is crucial to avoid a 3-game losing streak, and they appear well positioned to get back on track. Dallas, by contrast, has covered the spread just twice in 9 games this season and has failed to cover in their last 4 outings. They are winless at home, further underscoring their struggles. The Texans have their flaws, but their offense has shown more consistency, and their defense should stifle a Cowboys team that appears to be unraveling. Cooper Rush's poor form makes it hard to trust Dallas, even in a rivalry game. So the Houston Texans to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. If we could rewind to the preseason, few would have predicted such a low total for a Texans-Cowboys game, given both teams were expected to feature dynamic offenses. While Houston has held up reasonably well, Dallas has faltered badly. Even with Dak Prescott healthy earlier in the season, the Cowboys' offense struggled with inconsistency, plagued by an ineffective run game and over-reliance on their quarterback. Houston, too, has been a middling offensive unit, though they do rank 5th in 4th down conversion rate, one of their few standout metrics. Injuries have plagued the Texans' offensive line and wide receiver core, but there's hope with Nico Collins potentially returning after a lengthy absence. Collins is a key playmaker who adds a much-needed explosive element to the Texans' passing attack. However, even with his return, the Texans may build an early lead, leaving a sluggish second half that produces little excitement. Last week, Dallas managed only 6 points in their first game without Prescott, as neither Rush nor Lance proved capable of handling the pressure brought by Philadelphia. The Texans boast similarly effective edge rushers in Anderson and Hunter, who are likely to cause chaos against a depleted Dallas offensive line. The Cowboys can't rely on their running game either, with Ezekiel Elliott showing signs of decline and Rico Dowdle yet to prove himself as a reliable lead back. While the Texans have struggled offensively at times, notably scoring just 13 points against the Jets 2 weeks ago, they remain more potent than the Cowboys, who have consistently underperformed. Houston has hit the under in 9 of their 11 games this season, while Dallas has gone under in their last 2 outings. The return of Micah Parsons may make Dallas' defense more competitive, but it's unlikely to bridge the gap between the two teams. Houston's offense should outpace Dallas, scoring close to 28 points, while the Cowboys' anemic attack will struggle to break double digits. Both teams have consistently hit on dares in recent games, and their track record in head-to-head matchups suggests a similar outcome. Houston is expected to control the game from start to finish, and with Dallas unlikely to score more than 10 points, under the projected total is our full game total pick. That's all for now, so if you have any other games you would like reviewed, then leave a comment down below with the game you would like analyzed. Subscribe to our channel, leave a like on this video, and we'll get to it as soon as we possibly can. We would also love to hear your opinion on the picks presented to you in this video, whether you agree or disagree with them, so leave a comment down below and do let us know.